Welcome to today's video on the distributive property. First, we're going to look at distributing. So if I give you the problem, 5 times the parentheses of 3x plus 2. Now remember, when we're distributing, we're going to distribute into everything. So that outside number, our main objective is to get rid of the parentheses. We're going to take that outside number, we're going to distribute it into everything inside the parentheses. So I'm going to take the 5 times the 3x plus 5 times 2. So 5 times 3x is going to give me 15x, and then 5 times 2 is going to give me 10. So that will give me my final answer. Let's take a look at another example. We're going to do some more distributing. 6 times the parentheses of a minus b. Remember, I want to distribute or get rid of the parentheses, so I want to distribute that 6 into everything. So I'm going to take 6 times a, and I'm going to take 6 times b. When I do that, I end up with 6a minus 6b. That's my final answer. Because I cannot combine the a and the b, they are not the same letter, so my answer just stays as 6a minus 6b. Let's look at another problem. 4 times the parentheses of 3x minus 2y. Again, I want to get rid of the parentheses, so that means I need to distribute the 4 into everything. So 4 times the 3x, 4 times 2y. So if I distribute this, hopefully you have already come up with an answer in your head of what it's going to be. I'm going to get 4 times 3, which would be, hopefully you said 12x, and then minus 2y, which I'm hoping you said 8y. There's your answer. Now, we are moving on to distributing 3 numbers. So that means I'm going to have a problem with 3 numbers within the parentheses. 4 times the parentheses of 2x plus y minus 3a. What would be my first step in this problem? Hopefully you said to distribute the 4 into everything. Remember, I want to get rid of the parentheses. So 4 is going to go into every number inside the parentheses. So now if I multiply 4 times 2x, that's going to give me an 8x. And then I'm going to take 4 times the y, and that's going to give me 4y. And then my minus sign is going to carry down, so I'm going to have 4 times 3a, which is going to give me 12a. And that is your final answer. The next thing that we're going to look at with the distributive property is called factoring. So when we factor, it means we are going to now put it into parentheses because we can simplify it. So when we have to factor something, we need to make sure that we list out the factors of our numbers. So the factors of 16 are going to be 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. So now let's list the factors of 8, which would be 1, 2, 4, and 8. Which factor do you see that they have in common? Hopefully you notice the 8s. So with that, that means I'm going to put an 8 on the outside of my parentheses. since I put an 8 on the outside of my parentheses, I'm now taking 8 out of every number in this problem. So I'm going to divide 16 and 8 by the value of 8 because that's what I've taken out. So when I take 16 divided by 8, I come up with 2, and my A remains in the problem. Then I have to add 8 divided by 8, which is going to give me 1. And there is your answer. That is how you factor. All right, let's look at some more factoring. 15x plus 25. And again, I want to list my factors. So my factors of 15, first of all, 1, 3, 5, and 15. And then my factors of 25 are going to be 1, 5, and 25. Again, what do you see is in common for their factors? Hopefully you said 5. So I'm going to take out a 5 out of this. So again, I write down my 5, and then I have my parentheses. I'm going to divide everything by 5. So I'm going to take the 15, I'm going to divide that by 5, and I'm going to take the 25 and divide that by 5. So if I take my 15x divided by 5 is going to give me a 3x. And then I have 25y divided by 5, which is going to give me 5y. So my final answer is going to be 5 times the parentheses of 3x plus 5y. Let's look at another example. All right, I've created 3 parts now. So I have 7a plus 21b minus 14c. What factor do you see that they would have in common? Hopefully you said 7. So I'm going to take out that 7. And remember, I'm going to divide everything in the problem now by 7. So if I take 7a divided by 7, that's going to give me an a, plus 21b divided by 7, which is going to give me a 3b, and then minus 14c divided by 7, which is going to give me minus 2c. And that's my final answer for factoring. I'm now going to give you some homework to come in tomorrow in class with the answers written down. Okay, the first problem, solve it, 5 times 3a minus 6c. The second problem is going to be 10 times the parentheses of a plus 13. So I want you to use the distributive property for 1 and 2. And for 3 and 4, I want you to factor both of those. 12x plus 8 for number 3, and number 4 is 11y plus 13y. Hopefully you have a better understanding of the distributive property and how to use the distributive property and factor after watching this video. If not, feel free to go back to rewatch any portion of the video or rewatch the whole thing.